Hi, in this video we look at the marginal cost function and we give it an interpretation meaningful to someone that does not know calculus. We use a running example throughout the presentation and we hope that you will be able to generalize the interpretation to other examples. Suppose that the cost in dollars of producing X gallons of wood stain is given by C of X, and C of X is the following cubic polynomial. The problem is to find the marginal cost function and the marginal cost at x equals to 100 and interpret the answer. The marginal cost is just another name in economics for the derivative of the cost function, and differentiating the polynomial gives c prime of x equals 0.1 minus 0.002x plus 0.0012x squared. Replacing x by 100, we obtain the marginal cost when x equals 100, which turns out to be 11.90. Let's first think about what the units are. Since c prime of x is the limit as h goes to 0 of c of x plus h minus c of x over h, this limit is the limit of an average rate of change delta c over delta x. Therefore, the units of c prime are the units of delta c over the units of delta x. Delta c is a difference of costs, and its units are dollars. Delta x is a difference in gallons, and its units are gallons. As a consequence, the units of c prime are dollars per gallon. Therefore, c prime of 100 equals $11.90 per gallon. To interpret our answer, it is best to illustrate the derivative on a graph. In blue is the cost function, and in red, the tangent line at x equals 100. The slope of the tangent line is c prime of 100, and if we draw a right-angled triangle with a horizontal leg of 1 unit, then the vertical leg is of c prime of 100 units. That's because the slope is the rise over the run, but the run is chosen to be here 1, so the rise is the same as the slope, which is c prime of 100. As we can see, this vertical leg has approximately the same length as the double arrow, whose length is the actual increase in the cost function between 100 and 101. Therefore, c prime of 100 equals $11.90 means that increasing production by 1 gallon to 101 gallons increases the cost by approximately $11.90. Or to put it differently, 11.90 is approximately the cost of producing the 101st gallon of wood stain. If we want to compute the actual cost of producing that 101st gallon of wood stain, we need to compute c of 101 minus c of 100. The length given by the double arrow, which gives $12.02. As you can see, the actual cost of $12.02 is close to the approximate cost $11.90 obtained with the derivative. The next graph illustrates the derivative again, but this time at any point n. The same conclusion holds based on the graph. C prime of n approximates how much cost increases if 1 more gallon is produced when the production is of n gallons of wood stain. We could also say that it is approximately the actual cost Cn plus 1 minus Cn of producing the n plus 1 nth gallon of wood stain. We can also interpret the derivative using the tangent line, or more precisely, a linear approximation. The tangent line at x equals n has slope c prime of n and goes through the point n, c of n. Its equation in point-slope form is y equals c of n plus c prime of n times x minus n. Remember that n is some fixed value and x is still the variable in this equation. Because the tangent line in red is close to the cost function in blue when we are near the tangency point, so when x is close to n, then when x is close to n in the previous equation, the value of y is close to the value of the cost at x. In other words, y is close to c of x. If we replace x by n plus 1, which is close to n, then Cn plus 1 is approximately y, which is equal to C of n plus C prime of n times n plus 1 minus n. As you can see, the last bracket simplifies to 1. So overall, we get C of n plus C prime of n. So to recap, Cn plus 1 is approximately Cn plus C prime of n. And if we solve for the derivative, we get that C prime of n is approximately Cn plus 1 minus C of n. This is the same approximation that we obtained using the graph, and it shows that the derivative at n gives an approximation to the cost of producing the n plus 1th gallon of stain. Another value that is close to x that gives a different interpretation to the derivative is when we choose x to be n minus 1. In that case, Cn minus 1 is approximately y, which is equal to C of n plus C prime of n times n minus 1 minus n. This time the last bracket simplifies to minus 1, and overall we get C of n minus C prime of n. Therefore, C of n minus 1 is approximately C of n minus C prime of n. And solving for the derivative, we get that C prime of n is approximately C of n minus C of n minus 1. The interpretation here is that C prime of n approximates the cost of producing the nth gallon of stain. Overall, C prime of n can be used to approximate the cost of producing the nth or the n plus 1th gallon of wood stain. In our problem, C prime of 100 is $11.90 per gallon, and it could be seen as approximately the cost of producing the 100th or the 101st gallon of wood stain. Thanks for watching.